Hello everyone, I hope you are all doing well. We are here to work on the database management in GIS. Last time I have explained basic mapping in GIS in detail. I hope you understood everything. So now we'll move on towards database management in GIS. I have prepared a map of a city in Pakistan. While I was working professionally, I will show you how I worked on that map and prepared the database, and similarly I will also guide you how to prepare the database in GIS. Similarly, here one thing is very important regarding GIS, that obviously for the map making in GIS it is very necessary to go to the field and collect some data so that you can fill in the information in GIS, but in your case you cannot do that. You cannot go out because of this COVID-19 situation. So that's why I recommended you to map the area where you live, so you know the area, so that based upon your understanding and knowledge of the area you can fill in some information. And you are just only working in a 500-meter buffer, so it's a very small area. So based upon your understanding and knowledge of your area where you live, you can mark the spaces, which are the residential buildings, which are the commercial buildings, which are the mixed use buildings, which are the parking spaces. So you may also take help from Google Earth as well, because you cannot go out. So I will show you a map that I have prepared along with my group while I was working professionally. So this is the image of the city. So it's a complete big city, not that big, but uh, it's a kind of intermediate city in Pakistan. So we prepared the map of the city, complete map. So here you will see the buildings. So you will basically digitize the map, or you will prepare the base map within 500-meter buffer, as I have already told you. So it's a very small area, like where you will be doing the mapping. So once you have finished with the base mapping, so you can mark important places also on the map with the help of point shapefile. So you can mark roads as well with the help of polyline shapefile. So here you see it's a complete map. So these purple points are actually showing the important locations within the city. Maybe, that would be school, shopping malls, major parking lots. So that could be any important point. So once you finish with the basic mapping, you will go to the shapefile of building. I repeat again, you will go to the shapefile of buildings, and then the shapefile where you have selected polygon. So you will go to the shapefile of buildings. You will right click after the preparation of the base map. Then you will open the attribute table. This is very important thing. In order to store the geographical information in ArcGIS, you need to go to the attribute table. So this is a table that is having all the database. So I can minimize this table a bit. So let's zoom into the map. Whenever you will select any building, this is a selection tool. So, and you want to fill in the information for this building, for example. So you will click here, this small rectangle. When you click here, so the building that you have selected, its information is appearing here. So automatically different fields are already added. It's a polygon, its ID number is 0, its land use is residential. So status, it's established built up building, it means that it is more than 50 years old. So similarly, its area, It's a unit used in Pakistan, marla, so it's a 12 marla building. So the land use to is also residential. So in similar way you can add the information. So another question is that how you will add the information for each and every building. So you will select the building, or you can select multiple buildings as well by holding the shift command. uh, Holding the shift button, you can select multiple buildings. For example, these are all the buildings. So now when you go to selected, you see all the buildings are selected. Now you want to fill in certain information here. So what you will do, uh, just for a while, just forget all these columns, because these columns are not necessary for you. You are filling the information from the starting point. So you will click here at this point in the table. As it is a huge database, that's a database of the whole city, so it will take a bit of time, but in your case it will not take any time. So here is the option of add field. You see this option is appearing here. The reason is that this option is appearing here because from this point, editor, the editing is not like we have not started the editing at this point. If we start editing, if we click on the start editing and then we will go to the attribute table, then we cannot add any information. We cannot add this option, add field. Field means a new column. I will show you what I am explaining. For example, I have started the editing. Start editing means that I can modify the polygons. Now if I go to this open attribute table and I want to add a new field, you see this option has disappeared. So you cannot add field while the editing is started. So you need to stop the editing first. So then you can go to attribute table and you can fill in the information in the attribute table. So here I will add field. So for example, again I will select few buildings. This building, this. So I know all of these buildings are residential buildings and I want to fill in the information. So I have opened the attribute table. So add field. So it will ask me the name of the field. For example, I want to add land use. So it's a text. So because residential, commercial, so we'll fill it in the form of text. So I will click on OK. You see a new field, land use, is added here. So I will click here. I will go to field calculator. I know all of these buildings are residential and I want to fill the information here. Residential. So it is giving me some kind of error. So I need to start the editing first, because when I have added the field, I have added a new column, then I need to start the editing process so that I can fill in the information. So now I will go to field calculator. So from this table I will select the column that I have added, land use. This one is the column. So all of these buildings that I have selected are actually the residential buildings. So what I will do, I will click on the land use that I have already did. Then I will click on